Hi everyone, I hope your week is going well. This week we will be going over Chapter 3. Chapter 3, I've decided to break it into two parts only because it is impossible to actually cover all of civil liberties and all of civil rights in one class setting. So we will deal with civil liberties first. In civil liberties, I will define what civil liberties are, how they are in fact implemented and invoked by way of the Bill of Rights, and then I will go on to talk about some of the components of the Bill of Rights. And most of us just know it as, oh, okay, the First Amendment, Second Amendment, oh, I have a right to, um, remain silent, no unreasonable search and seizure, no cruel and unusual punishment, when I am incarcerated, or accepted bail, or, oh, I have a right to an attorney, those kind of things. But it's quite a bit that goes along with that. And of course, one that's very popular here within the state of Texas is the Second Amendment. So I'll go through those various amendments during class. One thing also that's important to understand is how these rights turn into power. Sometimes I'll say sometimes civil liberties and civil rights get muddled, meaning there's a misunderstanding or assumptions of where things that you think are rights are actually liberties. And so it's really a difference between the two. And again, and that's why I thought it was best to separate the two and have two different lectures on it. I will also be talking about, in which you will come up about in your reading in this chapter, is how our First Amendment rights are really under attack. What it means about free speech. The previous couple chapters we talked about mediated citizenship. That's freedom of speech. It's just in writing. We'll talk about what the sedition is, and that's really important now, especially after the insurrection happened at the Capitol. And also about what are fighting words, what that really means, what libel means, when someone is, defaming your character, and then slander also is when it's spoken words. So it's a big difference. I know the last two, the slander and the libel, if you watch Judge Judy, you probably heard her say it a few times, or some cases that have come about, but it really does cause issues, and there can be legal ramifications if actually all of these things that I mentioned actually come to pass. This chapter will also cover the Fourth through the Ninth Amendment threats, which there are some, and it's dealing with illegal seizure of evidence, double jeopardy, Miranda rights. I'll show a video on Miranda rights, of having a fair and speedy trial, again with the representation of an attorney, and also cruel and unusual punishment. Also, too, I will close out this first half of the chapter on the right to privacy, which is actually, it's absent from the Constitution, but it will be explained just so that you see how it all plays and into the Bill of Rights. So this concludes the overview of Chapter 3, Part 1, which will just only talk about civil liberties. See you in class.